The 41st Annual Bands World Cup of Surfing, the 9th and final WSL QS 10,000 qualifier for 2015, the second stop in the 33rd Annual Bands Triple Crown of Surfing here at Sunset Beach, I think Long Beach, South Africa, or Cape Town as well. But we got a good lineup here, very interesting. Here, top seed Charlie Martin, number 56 in the rankings. Looks like he's going to get on the board first.
You'll need is probably 4,000 points for your best 5 results. So, the 6,000s will count as well.
Here comes Benji Brand on his backside. This is not Namibia, which you've probably seen him if you've been on the internet watching him surf the barrel down there. But picking up a little prize money. He was runner-up at the Pipeline Pro, the junior event. Just runner-up to Joshua Moniz, who we saw his brother just surfing earlier. So Charlie Martin going to get a score. Benji Brand going to start things off. Let's take a look at Benji's first wave.
Well, it's a much smaller wave here. You can see it goes into that bit deeper water. He's trying to utilize everything he can with any kind of scoring potential since he's up and on this wave. It does go a bit more vertical there on that last inside section, and then it shuts down. And then behind him, this is live action, Dave.
And it is Timothy Bissot, and Bissot's from Guadeloupe. And if he's not in Guadeloupe, he is in Hossegor, France. So it's pretty rare to see 2 surfers out of Guadeloupe. Charlie was, I believe, representing France for a little bit, but no, he's representing Guadeloupe, while Timothy Bissot as well. So the Caribbean is sending us more and more surfers.
Why not? I mean, it's a beautiful region that has great surf, all year round. As the sport grows and expands, you're going to start to see all these different areas of the planet that have good waves are going to start producing good surfers. People start to, as this sport, again, all these surfers go and they find places that, surfers are one of those, they're nomads, right? They'll go and they'll find little zones, and you can use that priority to an advantage.
Well, Bissot with third priority, he's got to back off. With second priority, yeah, he knows his priority situation. It is Charlie Martin, and Martin has been here since 2012, so he gets yet another year of experience in this, and his back foot comes off and he slips. He goes snapping off the top. Sometimes we see surfers surf it like a shortboard wave and they get taken down pretty hard. The wave is so powerful on his backhand. Looking for a section, that's not going to work out for No Mignot.
What's crazy is you look at these surfers here, Timothy Bissot and Charlie Martin, both from Guadeloupe. They're probably the only 2 surfers that are actually representing Guadeloupe in this event. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, they are in the first round, and of course that's always how it works, right? Charlie Martin has helped pave the way for Timothy Bissot. Charlie Martin's been on the qualifying series. He's had flashes of brilliance. He's not been able to put 5 solid events together, but he's had 1 or 2, and he's been there in that top 100 picture for a few years now and been able to compete in the Triple Crown for many years. So it's good to have him, and again, that's where Timothy has looked up at him and just going, what, I'm going to be just like Charlie. I'm going to sit there and get a crack at that qualifying series.
Well, Charlie's got a 1.93 and a 317 right now. He is your current heat leader. Let's check in with Kaipo with the winner of that last heat. Kaipo? And thank you, Kaipo. Again, that's the guy that affected the world title, I believe. He took down Kelly Slater in 2013, and this year in Portugal, in 3-man heats, he was undefeated. Took down, you mentioned Mick Fanning. He just former stop on the world tour. Charlie Martin, your leader with 2 waves, a 1.93, a 317. He has third priority in the lineup. With first priority, Timothy Bissot. Bissot's going to take this one. Little section ahead of him, and not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get, what happens is that the wave will lift and then it'll flatten out and lift again, especially when you've got still a lot of this trade swell in the lineup as well. That almost looked like a more northerly angled set that we're seeing here. And with that, occasionally you just try to get to the lip when it's there.
Well, 3 goofy footers in the lineup. Here's Benji Brand. Benji out of Sunset Beach by way of South Africa. Not sure exactly where he's living full time. I think
here.
But I think he goes back to South Africa.
Oh, I'm sure, but he spends a lot of time here.
In the summer months, when it's summer here, it's time
winter
to go
there.
Yeah,
for sure.
So he's got a pretty good lifestyle.
But he does spend a lot of time here. The Moniz family has accepted him as family, as they accept everyone as family. They're great stuff. Let's watch the replay here. This one, nice steep wave to start, and then it flattens up. So again, stays with it, hoping that this, and then waits and times it off the bottom. There's that nice steep section. Beautiful surfing there, no hitches. Again, it wasn't a huge wave, but was able to get 2 nice moves on that one. It's going to be definitely going to his top 2. 25 definitely going to his top 2.
25-minute heats for this first round of competition. And if you've seen a normal QS 10,000 events, this is not normal. Nothing is normal on the North Shore. If you watched Haleiwa event, you'll saw that we did start in the round of 128.
Which is what we're doing here.
And all heats were 4-man heats.
Yep.
Thank you, Samsung Galaxy, for all your support there. Take a look at that camera there on the screen. Massive lens looking out to the sea, far out there, about a third of a mile. Sometimes are the surfers, and they zoom in, and we take a good look at No Mignot, the 18-year-old, born in Panama, representing France, but living in Mexico, traveling the globe with his parents up till the age of 6 around the world, as he and his brother picked various locations to become born. They go, well, he must have had a great surfing lifestyle. He surfed after his big road trip in the open oceans. Here's
third
Noam.
wave for Noam, and this one is going to be his best so far. He's able to almost complete it all. He does hang on there. Not really. So he'll get scored for his first move, but not his second one there. As we watch again, Charlie Martin during the break here. This wave, again, these guys are doing everything they can to catch waves. You know, in that lineup. It's a challenging lineup with the building swell. You'll see that they're the inconsistent, bigger sets. They'll move to the outside and catch these guys on the inside. There's still north-northeast trade swell, which is on the lineup as well. So it kind of cheeses you. You know, you end up moving inside because you know there's little waves to be ridden in there. But then a bigger set comes and it lands on your head. So it's a challenging lineup, you know, and you can get held down for a long time. That'll actually wind you, and all of those things combined make it tough lineup.
Bissell right now looking for a 4.23. Doesn't have he's got 2 waves, but not one wave over 1 point. So this has been a tough one for Bissell. Who's got the best score out there? It's the second wave for Benji Brand, a 4.67. Brand is your leader.
Feel like your limbs are, and this is a really strong wave, so you're going to have that kind of happen to you much more than you would say at a Haleiwa, and like we had at the last event. You know, it's 3 feet, you get held down for 3 or 4 seconds. Here, it could be anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds where you're getting held down and you're getting washed and ripped apart.
With first priority is your leader, Benji Brand, the 19-year-old, and Benji's up and riding here trying to replace a 2.0 in his score line. Waits a long time to initiate the bottom turn, throws a nice little wall of water up, and on his backhand. Little inside section, and it races, and he goes for the lip, and survives that one, then it's going to back off. Benji, so much time in the U.S. and in Hawaii. He has surfed the NSSA, a former Mini Grom national champion in 2007, so he's been around a lot. And obviously great success in South Africa, Hawaii, and over the Nationals as well. So Benji Brand, what's he going to get on that last score? Interesting stuff. 5:25 remaining, and that is a late takeoff. No Mignot. And wave selection if you can find it, and he does a late hit and pulls out. Guys are struggling out there, Pete.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, you've got a lot of wind coming across the face, which creates those, you know, 2 or 3 foot swells in the middle of the wave, which makes it so challenging again to be able to fit those moves in. Let's take a look here first from Benji Brand. I think this is another pretty good wave for him as he drops in, waits a long time, but gets a nice turn, perfectly timed, right where that section stands up. And again, gets another turn, and then here, throws it up and pulls that move down. So that's going to be probably the best wave of the heat so far.
Charlie Martin looking to get into the lead, needs a 3.51. He's in the second spot, and Charlie goes down. But one thing on the close-up replays, you see really how fast this wave is moving.
And it's been really helpful for him. And this move right here, as you watch, just up and over and lands it with control, earns a 7.0 and extends his lead.
Well, the term lost at sea, you can get lost out there real quick and chase your tail and go around in circles. And showing no interest there, but to the inside, no Mignot. Mignot. Beautiful bottom turn, looking over his shoulder, gets some steam. And he goes down, and I don't know why.
Well, he was trying to force it. It felt like to me, you know, he needed to, you know, shed some speed before you go straight back into a bottom turn, and he knew that the wave was going to end quickly because he caught it on the inside, and trying to just force it. And when you do that, unfortunately, your board's not going to be able to handle that speed. It didn't look like he was going really fast to be able to whip that bottom turn, but where he did the turn on the face, it is loaded with a bunch of speed. The board wasn't able to handle it. You see the fins released, and he wasn't able to hang on there. And then Charlie Martin moved to the inside for another wave here.
Charlie's got a throaty little section. Hopefully it doesn't back off. There's one, and Charlie takes a beating right there. Late hit, and he goes after it. You know, it's the wave is morphing, and where you might think it's going to be a power hit, sometimes it backs off, and you've overcooked the turn. As we take a look at No Mignot, he's been the busiest out there. This is his 6th wave. He's trying to hold on to the 2nd spot, trying to better a 2.60. I'm just guessing a couple of black belts. Well, we've got a 7.0 for Benji Brand and a 4.67. Solidly in the lead with an 11.67. Charlie Martin in 3rd needs a 304, and he's trying to milk and make something happen here. Into Val Zarif he goes, and this will stand up all the way through if he can hang on to this right. Gets a little throaty, really shallow. It's probably not exactly what you had in mind to get through a heat, but Charlie Martin doing anything he can with 1 minute on the clock to get a 304 and getting a lot of turns in. And right on to Val Valentine's Zarif. He checks the clock, 50 seconds remaining. Is that an unusual buzzer beater? Pete?
I put myself way too out there in the past. I'm not going to even fathom to go there right there on this one because that wave was so far on the inside.
Timothy Bissell.
The surfing was amazing. You know, he did a great job on that wave, but I mean, is that wave enough to be able to just, you know, pull that score out at 3.04?
Bissell up and riding will lead to the same. He needs a 4.80. Now there's 23 seconds remaining. Gutsy move to pull out. And where is he? There he is, off and down to the left there, and he's going to scramble. Is he going to turn and go on this one? Yes, he does. Bissell with 10 seconds on the clock. He needs a 4.8, depending on what Charlie gives. And it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Timothy Bissell knows the writing on the wall. Benji Brand looks like he solidly holds on to the lead with a 7.0 and a 4.67, the 19-year-old. The Vans World Cup of Surfing here at Sunset Beach. Heat number 2 is completed. They just posted the last couple of scores for early indications that Charlie Martin wasn't going to get the score. He needed a 3.04. He gets a 3.23 and advances through with Benji Brand. Now we take to heat number 3. William Cardoso, Midi Miminardi, Alex Smith, and Keikoa Casimiro.